better tonight than we were on Friday. Felt that we were better in the second half than we were the first half. Czar and Jimmy being in foul trouble definitely impacts our team. We've got to figure out a way to stop it. The way to stop it is to play your man before the catch, not after he catches it. But I thought that our execution in the second half was much better. I thought the things that we tried to do, we were able to do at a more efficient pace. And again, it's just so important with our team and the complexion of our team that we get better each game. And we have to be better on Saturday, but we can't give away Thursday and Friday in practice. We've got to improve there as well.
What did you think of Jamie and when they went to zone the whole game, where he fit in that on the offensive end?
Well, he's got to be able to find the open area, but at the same time, you know, we were doing different things depending upon what type of zone they were in. We need to be able to seal our man just like you would do in man-to-man. Sometimes that may be the middle man in the zone in a 2-3. It may be the wings in a 1-2-2 or a matchup. And I thought he got more comfortable in the second half. In the first half, he was somewhat aimless in what he was trying to do. That's just as much my fault as it is his fault. 25 practices in, it's hard in his second game for him to have some consistency. And remember, if they're in an odd front zone, we do this. If they're in an even front zone, we do this. If they're in man-to-man, we do this. If the ball's out of bounds and they're in one of those three things, we do this. It's just, it's reps, but it's just as much me as it is him.
Coach, for a good amount of time, you had Acker, Kubi, J-May, Lazar, and Jimmy. What did you like when you saw those five together on the floor?
I thought that they were executing what we wanted to do on both ends of the floor. And because we didn't play as well as we have to play in order to have a chance for success in the first half, I was going to let those guys play till their tongues fell out because they were doing a good job. I thought that our assist-to-turnover ratio was much better. I thought our assist-to-basket ratio was much better. And I thought that they began to have a little bit of rhythm in what they were doing. I don't know how many games we can win playing those guys that long a period of time, but I thought for tonight it was the right thing to do.
You got a lot of points in the paint. Didn't get to the line as much as I'm sure you would have liked.
No, we got to the bonus at 351 in the first half. Never got to the bonus in the second half. Paint touches and getting to the bonus, there's a lot of analogies that you can pull from that. You're probably not going to get quite as many free throw opportunities against a zone as you will against a man. I'll have to watch the tape when we get done here, but I think our paint touches were higher tonight than they were on Friday night. And in some perspective, that's good, that's healthy, because we're still driving it and we're still getting paint touches, even though they're in the zone to prevent paint touches. But we didn't get to the free throw line enough, no.
Coach Hayward said he didn't know it was a collegiate high until after the game. Were you aware of that? And could you just talk about the game he had?
I'm happy for him. I didn't think he was very good in the first half. So 3 out of the 4 halves that we've played, Czar hasn't been as good as he's got to be able to be. But I didn't know it was a career high until I was doing post-game radio. I'm happy for him. He was much better in the second half. And I'm glad that he was able to have that because we need him to play. We don't need him to score like that all the time, but we need him to play like that all the time.
Coach, you said after the last game that you thought Dwight Pikes is better than he had played so far. Did you think he showed some improvement tonight?
Yeah, I thought he was much more aggressive offensively. I thought he did a better job defensively. I thought that he made shots at a higher percentage rate than he did Friday night because he was taking shots within his rhythm and within what it is that he wants to do. He can't be careless with the ball, and we need him to have a little bit of Jarrell McNeil in regards to here I come, see if you can stop me. But if you do stop me, I know where I'm passing it to. And that's a little bit of playing at a higher level, playing with bigger guys, playing with more athletic guys. J-May, DJO, Bikes, those three, you know, you can't do exactly what you were able to do at the last team that you played for. You know, when you drive in there deep, there's going to be somebody there. They're not going to just let you go all the way. And I think he's figuring it out, and I thought that he was better.
Joe was in the starting lineup but only saw 6 minutes tonight. Is that attributed to mistakes, or is there an injury problem?
No, they're draining his knee now, and he got it. I can't remember the word. they're draining his knee and they're doing something else. I don't remember the terminology, but it's the other knee. It's not the knee that he had 2 surgeries on. It's the other knee. He fell on Friday and he has a bruise, and it's kind of been puffy the whole time. He didn't play as many minutes as he should, partly because of that, and partly because he wasn't playing as hard as he's got to play in order to help our team.
He comes back from his suspension now, or 2 games
Yeah.
missed.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, what do you see for his role now? Because he's behind, of course, in terms of game action.
He was the best he's ever been today during shoot around. He was aggressive. He was active. He's really smart. He's smart as it relates to his intellect. He's somewhat behind as it relates to his basketball IQ, but because he's so smart, he's able to pick up things quicker than you would anticipate, particularly with the language barrier. He's kind of figured things out. We need him to create some sort of niche. I honestly can't tell you what that niche is because I'm unsure of what the other guys' niches are. You know, when Czar's in foul trouble, that changes our team. We need J-May to continue to do what he's doing and do it a little bit better. He's got to be able to finish layups and make free throws. Joe's got to have some sort of responsibility. Chris, I think, if he, I don't know that he can play 11 minutes and produce what he produced tonight, but if he can play 7 or 8 minutes and then eventually get to 11 or 12 minutes, then I think he's really helping our team. And we've got to figure out how we can utilize use the best and where he has comfort. He is behind, but we got to figure out a way to help him catch up.
You've said before, DJO is a very timid player, and he's got to get over that. He missed his first 2 shots tonight, only made 1 field goal in 6 attempts. Is he a guy who has to get hot at the beginning to be successful in the game?
I hope not. I hope not. I think he can really score. I think if it was just like let's play open gym and shirts and skins, he'd be the leading scorer. The thing that DJO's got to get better, and it's all the new things that go on. He's got to be able to compartmentalize. I know I can score, but I know that I have the responsibility that I have to do this on this end of the floor, and then when we're on the other end of the floor, I have responsibilities. And he had J-May and DJO yesterday and today were their best 2 consecutive days of work. And I think that J-May's production reflected that. And I think DJO, he didn't score a lot of points, but he was much better defensively than he was on Friday. Again, we need him to come on. We need him to play more minutes than he played tonight, and I think that he will.
Is that just one of those things that'll come? Right now they're just thinking on the court.
There's some thinking going on. I think the White Mikes may be a little bit ahead because he's played 60 games, but there is some thinking versus I'm thinking and should be playing. But you know, when it's all playing and no thinking, then it looks like a circus. And so it's the balance of figuring out how to think and how to play, not overthink and execute. It's all of those things.
You feel like you guys finally broke the zone when Lazar gets the ball at the free throw line with those options on the wings?
Yeah, you know, anytime you can get to the soft spot in the zone, whether it's off the pass or the bounce, it makes the zone converge. When you throw it to a really good player, it's definitely going to make it shrink. And then when you can pass out of it, now you forced help, and now they're playing out of a rotation, whether that's zone or man. And we were much better attacking the zone in the second half than the first.
Prior to the season, point guard was a concern. 2 games in, Kubi's averaging 6 assists and 1 turnover a game. You got to be happy there.
I'm happy with Kubi and Mo, Jim. I think they're doing exactly what they do every single day in practice. I think it's transferring to the court. They've got to be razor edge sharp in regards to their toughness, and they've got to have razor edge efficiency in what we're asking them to do. And I think that what's happened, Mo's a 5th-year senior, Kubi's a senior. They're beginning to not only care about their game, they're beginning to care about the team that they're playing with and how they're executing. Not that they haven't ever felt that way. I don't mean that in a selfish way, but I think they're beginning to be absorbed in what's going on. This possession, this is my team. What are we doing? What are we supposed to do? And I think that's building a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, and I think that that's healthy.
Better for Buzz?